About a month ago, Burkina Faso made headlines by releasing an electric car that was proudly termed as the first of its kind to be manufactured in the country. This was a moment of pride for many Africans, as it seemed like a significant step towards self-sufficiency in the manufacturing industry.
Symbol of Itaoua's vision, the first Burkinabe brand of electric vehicles.
But after spending a few days researching on the internet, we stumbled upon a Chinese car model that looks strikingly similar to the Burkinabe one. This discovery points to the possibility that the vehicle was made in China and merely assembled in Burkina Faso. Now, to be clear, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. After all, even the mighty United States labels iPhones as American, despite them being manufactured in China. But it does raise some important questions about the nature of this Made in Africa achievement, which I will explain later how they are using it to exploit us. But first, let's talk about the vehicle released in Burkina Faso and how it bears exact resemblance to models produced by Dongfeng, which is a Chinese automotive manufacturer. If you look at the front side of the Burkinabe native car, including the headlights and overall design, you'll notice that it looks almost identical to the Dongfeng EV Box model, which was launched in 2024. Same to the Sahel front side of the car, looks exactly like the Dongfeng EX1 Nano Box, a model that was released back in 2020. In fact, if you examine the doors of the vehicles launched by Itaoua in Burkina Faso, you'll see that the door handles are a perfect match for those on the Dongfeng EX1 Nano Box from 2020. This raises the question, are we being offered old used cars in new shells, branded as Made in Africa, or are we being sold brand new cars that are simply older models? The Dongfeng EX1 Nano Box is among the cheapest electric vehicles in China, with prices ranging from $6,500 to around $9,000 depending on the features. Now, considering that the Burkinabe car has a range of 300 kilometers, which aligns with the specifications of the 2020 Dongfeng model, one can't help but wonder why we aren't being offered the newer models. The 2024 Dongfeng models, for instance, has a range of over 430 kilometers. Could it be that the battery packs were reduced in size to make the vehicles more affordable for the African market? Or are we being sold an older model under the guise of it being a new African-made product? The interior of the Itaoua car does look slightly more modern, resembling the Dongfeng EX1 Nano Box model released in 2023. This suggests that some effort was made to update the design to make it appear more contemporary compared to other vehicles on the market. But still, the overall design and features still closely mirror those of Dongfeng models, leaving little room to argue that this is a uniquely African product. Now, I know many of you might be wondering why we, as Africans, tend to get so excited about anything labeled Made in Africa. I believe this has a lot to do with the fact that we are often looked down upon by other races. As a result, whenever we see something that is supposedly made on our continent, we are quick to celebrate it and are even more eager to purchase it, regardless of whether it's a genuinely good product or not. Unfortunately, it seems that some people are now exploiting this desire of ours to prove that Africa can compete on the global stage. Whether it's a Chinese company looking for an African partner to disguise their vehicles as Made in Africa, or an African entrepreneur approaching a Chinese company to resell their vehicles on the continent in the name of Made in Africa, the underlying issue remains the same. Our eagerness to prove ourselves is being used against us. Personally, I wish more effort had been put into designing a concept that is truly designed in Africa, which could then be sent to Dongfeng for manufacturing and sent back for assembling. At the very least, Dongfeng could have offered us their latest models instead of sending older versions to Africa while reserving the newer ones for other markets. It's disappointing to see that little to no effort was made to differentiate these vehicles from the Dongfeng models they are based on. It almost feels as though they didn't even try to disguise the fact that these cars are essentially rebranded Chinese vehicles. It's disheartening to think that we may have been fooled into believing that these vehicles were a genuine African innovation, only to discover that they are likely just repackaged Chinese models. It's possible that somewhere in China, someone is watching and laughing at how easily we are gullible. Or perhaps I'm wrong, and Itaoua did indeed manufacture these vehicles in Burkina Faso, but simply lacked original ideas, leading them to copy Dongfeng's designs. Either way, this situation highlights the need for greater transparency and originality as we strive to build a competitive manufacturing industry in Africa. We tried doing an audio translation from French to English of the news about these vehicles. At some point, you will hear Itaoua hinting at assembly. Maybe they were misquoted by the media.
It offers environmentally friendly transportation. Its 100% electric vehicles combine innovation and modernity. TGEG, symbol of Itaoua's vision, the first Burkinabe brand of electric vehicles. With the opening of a showroom at Ouaga Mall, the former Libyan shopping center, Itaoua offers two vehicle models to customers, namely the Native and the Sahel.
To help you, the range of 349 kilometers. Also has a digital dashboard and touchscreen, integrated GPS navigation system, rear view camera and parking sensor, Bluetooth connection and USB port. Safety includes power steering, ABS cornering, and traction control, front and side airbags. It's also worth noting that in the coming days we will receive another model regarding the Itaoua Zircon with a range of 500 kilometers.
The unveiling of the models demonstrates Itaoua's commitment to offering mobility solutions tailored to the country's realities. 20-minute fast charging stations will be installed throughout the country. The promoters also reassure that any purchaser of these electric vehicles can charge a mode of transport like a phone at home.
The vehicles depend on the range. A vehicle with a range of 201 kilometers cannot be the same as a vehicle with a range of 331 kilometers. So the lowest as of today, the showroom offers the 201 kilometers at 7,500,000. There is after-sales service that will be set up on the routes where electric mobility will be developed.
These vehicles are also rechargeable with solar energy, combining performance, safety, and comfort, and they are admired by a range of distinguished individuals.
The vehicle is started. I inside don't even hear the noise. You see, everything is electric. It's really fantastic. It's really very, very nice. You see, I can even turn on the air conditioning. We don't need to turn anything. Having such a vehicle is quite good and silent. It doesn't pollute. And I believe it's an environmental protection tool, zero carbon. And it's beneficial.
At the level of the authorities, this bold initiative is praised as a response to the dependence on fossil fuels. For the minister in charge of commerce, tomorrow's Burkina Faso is being built now through innovations and the boldness of the youth.
I believe she is a pioneer in the automotive landscape in our country. We now have a unit that will soon handle assembly and a commercial center that will thus carry out sales, I imagine, at affordable prices for the Burkinabe population, for their happiness, and travel with high-end vehicles, electric vehicles.
A new era is beginning in the automotive landscape with these eco-friendly vehicles.